The kid from Michigan, Aiden Hutchinson, he's not a Bosa, he's not Chase Young, but he's really good. And most people say he's number one. But in a draft without a superstar, he's not. Is he a lock number one?
No. And as much as I do more work on this draft class and the people I speak with, they're like, I don't know when this Aiden Hutchinson number one thing emerged, because it's anything but a surefire deal. And that's because of the GM, Trent Baalke. Trent Baalke spent years in San Francisco, and year after year after year, Trent Baalke would take the physical specimen, the guy that would win the combine, the guy in the workout room, over the sure thing from college production. That included taking Aldon Smith over J.J. Watt and Robert Quinn. It meant taking Anthony Davis, a tackle, over Brian Bulaga. And it's meant taking Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner, and A.J. Jenkins, and countless other guys who were the physical freaks over the guys who were the producers in college. And in this draft, Aiden Hutchinson, he's the player that was great on Fox Saturdays. We saw him do big things at college, but you're right, Colin. I haven't heard anyone compare him to J.J. Watt or any of the Bosa brothers. I've heard he compares to Jared Allen or Trey Hendrickson. Some of these guys that, okay, like that's at the high end. That's great. But Trayvon Walker out of Georgia is the guy that's being compared to Micah Parsons. And Kayvon Thibodeau out of Oregon is being compared to some of the best freakish pass rushers in the game. So everyone I talk to says slow down with Trent Baalke and just saying, sure thing, here you go, 10 sacks to the next level. That's going to be his pick. No, Trent Baalke goes for home runs. And Aiden Hutchinson right now is viewed as a very safe, conservative, solid pick with a huge upside. But he's not the home run pick in this draft. Walker and Thibodeau might be.
Okay, so you get about one star quarterback a draft. I think that'll probably go to about two over the course of our lives, 2 to 3, just because there's more good college offenses. It's more sophisticated. The coaching at the high school and college level for quarterbacks is way better. So I do think more quarterbacks over the next 10 years, more than one a draft, which has been the average for 20 years. You get one great quarterback. And I think it's going to go up. So, and I think we started that a couple years ago. I think that trend now, generationally, we're starting to see these kids who had 10,000 snaps by the 9th grade. Is there a quarterback under the radar? Because I see 5 or 6 quarterbacks. Is there one that your sources are like, keep your eye on this guy?
That's exactly how I would put it, Colin. Weird year for the quarterback draft. I had a GM who has a quarterback tell me all 5 of last year's first rounders would have been the first quarterback taken this year. So if you're looking at it that way in a 2-year span, this isn't the cream of the crop by any means. You're getting a lot of Willis talk. You're getting a lot of Kenny Pickett talk, and you're getting a lot of Desmond Ridder talk. The guy that I would circle as a potential top 10 pick is Matt Corral out of Ole Miss. And Corral's story is interesting. Long Beach Poly kid, where he lit it up, and he chose to play at Ole Miss, where he played for Lane Kiffin and was awesome, but got injured at the end of the season and didn't have a chance to perform at the combine. Now his health is checking out, and the more teams are speaking with him, it's like, oh, this guy's an alpha. This is that dude. It's a wide open quarterback draft. And if anyone's telling you that Pickett and Willis are surefire top 10 picks, they don't know what they're talking about, because I don't have a single team in the top 10 saying to me, we're definitely taking quarterback. This guy right here, and 2 spots to consider, maybe Carolina at 6. And here's the connection to Seattle at 9, who currently has Drew Lock as their starting quarterback. They've got the 9th pick. Lane Kiffin and Pete Carroll have a long history together. Okay, Pete Carroll has a long history with Long Beach Poly, whether it be Willie McGinnis or several of the other USC superstars that went there. This is an interesting connection. If you want to say 9, Matt Corral, or if you want to say 6, because Carolina's looking for a quarterback, and the Kenny Pickett thing is not a slam dunk. I think 3 of those quarterbacks, including Willis, could go top 10, but I don't think all 3 go top 10. And I think each team might order them differently based on their draft boards.
Okay, so I've got my kind of theory on this, is that the Packers have let 2 receivers go, and they have, this week, Mark Murphy said Aaron doesn't have a 3-year deal. He's got 3 one-year deals, which I don't think he'll play to the end of the contract. They have brought in no veteran receivers, It's an incredibly anemic current Packer receiving core. But I do think they're going to draft receiver early because then you won't be able to say, well, they never gave Aaron a first-round wide receiver. They'll check that box and say, yes, we did. So my gut is, with those 2 picks late in the first, could they move up and get because I think they're going to get a receiver. They almost have to. What's your intel say on those late Packer picks?
Colin, you are spot on. That 22 and that 28, I don't think Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jameson Williams, Treylon Burks, Drake London, I don't think they're sitting there at 22. And I don't think they're sitting there at 28. So I don't think the Packers will take a receiver just to take one. One of those 5s has to drop. But everyone I speak with is like, there are 5 really good wide receivers in this draft. And there are too many teams who need that position. I think they're the team to watch that packages these picks and goes and gets a veteran guy that's maybe in the final year of their contract. I've mentioned it before. Terry McLaurin, final year of his contract, has not come to an agreement with Washington yet. A.J. Brown, same with Tennessee. Debo with San Francisco, and then, of course, DK Metcalf, who you're hearing about. I think all 4 of those teams have said, those are our guys. Those are our wide receivers. But when you see these numbers that Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill are making, and then you see what Stephon Diggs just re-upped for, I'm not sure all 4 of those teams are looking to give those guys monster contracts. I would be curious to see what Green Bay does because I don't think they can just sit pretty at 22 and hope to see Jameson Williams or Garrett Wilson fall to them because they won't.
By the way, Jets have the number 4 and the 10, isn't it? The 4 and the 10. What's the apple of their eye?
Yeah, the Jets are getting a surefire player at 4. That's what I'm told. So that might not be a Trayvon Walker or a Kayvon Thibodeau. But all my sources in New York are like, we're getting a stud at 4. We're getting a guy we can rely on. So that could be Hutchinson. That could be Ekwonu. That could be Neal. Or that could be Sauce Gardner. That's who I think they would go after. I think they had Darrelle Revis in that building for many years, and it was like, all right, we don't have to worry about one part of the field. I think Sauce, who is the consummate pro and has met with the Jets, would be a fantastic selection at 4. Then you can take the best player available at 10. Jets need talent. You know that. They whiffed on the 2020 draft. They hit home runs in the 2021 draft. Everyone loves Vera Tucker, Elijah Moore, and Michael Carter, the running back. They need to get players, guys that are not projects. And I think Sauce Gardner might be the most finished product out of all these players in this draft.
Good stuff. Peter Schrager, co-author, New York Times bestseller, Out of the Blue. Cheat Sheet, Fox Sports app. I believe you do a mock draft for every player, don't you?
I used to do 7 rounds. I'm tempted to do it again. Your favorite college player would be somewhere in my mock draft if you followed college football.
Well, I do, so I can't wait for it. Schrags, great seeing you as always, buddy.
Go Nets. That's my team, dude.
All right. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.